Hey, I want to welcome you to today's devotion. Now, sometimes what we need to do in the Christian life is we need to just kind of zoom out and look at things. So many times we get so close to things that we really lose sight of some of the great things that God wants to teach us. And that's what I want to talk about today with David. So let's go straight to our devotion right now. Many times what happens to us when we look at the life of people and we do a study of their life, we get caught up in the minutia and the fine print of all of the things that have happened. And we do need to just zoom out and get the big picture. And that's what I want us to do with the life of David, because we see he was a man after God's own heart. And I want to be a man after God's own heart. I want to be a person who really seeks after the Lord and is used of God. But there's a couple of things in the big picture that we can see. The first thing is this. We can see that David, when he was young, he believed God, he trusted God, he knew he needed God. When he faced the giant, remember, everybody else was afraid, but he said, hey, look, I've faced bears and lions and all kinds of animals. He said, but God was with me then and God will be with me now. And that's the way David won so many of his victories. It was by faith. He trusted the Lord. He had a heart after God. He knew that God loved him and he loved God, and that was all that really mattered. And you see, he walked with God. He was successful. Now something happened though when he got a little older, and that was he began to think, look what I've done. I'm the king. Look what I've accomplished. And he thought he could get away with anything. And I take away one lesson from this big picture, and that is you cannot ever get past walking by faith. You've got to live by faith. You've got to trust God. You never can sort of sit back and say, well, look where I've come. Look how far I've come. I've gone all this way. No, we need to be faithful to the end. We need to trust the Lord to the end. We need to walk in humility to the end. David, towards the end, lost that sense of simplicity and purity, of devotion to Jesus Christ that he had early on. When he trusted God in the early days, and then he began to think, look what I've accomplished. This happens to so many people. It's so easy. So I think the big picture says every day with Jesus has got to be sweeter than the day before. You've got to walk daily with him, trusting in him all the way until you finish the race that God has called you to run. So look to Jesus, trust him, no matter how long you've been walking with him, and you can walk in victory and be a winner in this race.